if you like, because there's other things that can do that, is one of the things that can cause miscarriages. So, but my point is that this is super heavily curated information. I sound like a crazy person saying it, where it's like, hey, we don't have any data on this. We should probably look out, because you go to the CDC's website and they're like, we don't really have any information, but this is a personal choice, but we still recommend it. We recommend it. So that's the information people are operating on, is these compromised institutions.
To be really blunt, and I'm going to look like a heartless bitch saying this, but I don't care. I don't care. You want to know why? Because people have every opportunity to look into this. They have every opportunity. The information is out there. Like, what is it? Like 40% of people have not gotten this damn vaccine. Like, why haven't they gotten it? Like half of all healthcare providers haven't gotten this vaccine. Like, it's not as though the information is unavailable, but people have to look for it, and they have to be discerning, and they have to use their goddamn brains. And I'm sorry, if people take this vaccine and end up regretting it, well, congratulations, you entered yourself in for a fucking Darwin Award. I'm sorry. Like, my patience for people who just don't bother to look into things at all, not even doing the barest little bit of research, not challenging their own confirmation bias to say, maybe I should just look at sources that I might disagree with. Like, that's what I fucking did when I first started waking up, is I said, maybe I should just listen to the opinions of people that I think are the worst possible people in the world, just to see what they have to say. It's not like I have to agree with them. Let me just hear them out and see what they have to say. And I did that, and I found out, wait, these guys aren't really all that scary after all. Everyone can do what I did. Everyone can do this. It's just they have to make the choice to. And again, it's kind of like, for all the people that I hear complaining about all of this ad nauseum every single day, there are so few people who are actually stepping up and doing anything about it, that I'm kind of like, maybe it needs to get worse before it gets better. Maybe you all need to find out that this vaccine conversation was totally fucked from the very beginning. Maybe your kids do need to have mental health effects from you sending them to school for 2 years wearing a goddamn mask over their face. Maybe they do need to suffer that for you to finally get in the game and say something. Because all of these people who are going to have less than ideal outcomes from this entire situation, they've been sitting back and allowing it to happen for over a year and a half. And again, I understand I might sound really heartless in this equation, but how much rope do you want? How much rope do you want to hang yourself? Because you've been pulling a lot of rope for the last year and a half. You've been ignoring people like us that have been telling you that this is going on. You've been vilifying us. You've been canceling us. You've been doing all this stuff. Even, I know, I'm going to bring it up, even on the right, every time I tell them this stuff, every time I point out, listen, conservatives or progressives driving the speed limit, as Michael Malice always says, they'll give them 2 years. They're going to be completely in favor of critical race theory. Kristi Noem has now come out basically talking like a rhino. She was their golden child for a week and a half. Even the right is susceptible to this stuff, right? And it's you try to tell them, no, the Daily Wire is not the best source of information, because Ben Shapiro is just trying to protect his goddamn social status. I'm sorry, that's what he's doing. He has no interest in looking into this stuff at all, because all he's interested in doing is protecting this little
reactionary bubble thing.
Yeah, it's this reactionary bubble thing that they've cultivated for themselves. Truman, I'm ceasing to have any sort of compassion for people who have been presented more opportunities than they damn well needed to look into this, to think for themselves, to consider other points of view, to just be reasonable people for a second. If it needs to get worse for it to get better, so be it, then it has to get worse.
Sure. So let me clarify, because I'm also about to sound really heartless, or at least not nearly as altruistic as I might have made myself seem here. Yes, I am worried about the pregnant women. I am worried about those things, obviously. What I'm saying is, because those people won't do the research, won't do that, the pressure from their corporations, their businesses. So here's the progression. All right. Mm-hmm. Because of everything you just said, because people are ignorant and lazy and apathetic. Okay. It's just human nature. I'm like that. I can be, just not in this area right now. So because of that, they are going to comply. Compliance will be the norm. We're going to see more and more of that. Okay. So my main thing here I'm thinking about, I'm worried about the unintended consequences or the ignorance of the people who are getting this. Okay. But I'm thinking long-term about us. I'm thinking about my wife. Okay. I'm thinking about what happens whenever all of those ignorant people have complied, and all that's left of society is a minority of holdouts like us. And they've hold on. They have laid the foundation with these news articles and with this resentment they are manufacturing. They are turning this problem of the unvaccinated. They are sowing the seeds for this. Okay. So they're sowing the seeds right now, the problem of the unvaccinated, so that people are going to be ripe for a solution to be given to them. For us, I'm thinking about us in this and what this is going to mean for us. If those people want to take those risks on themselves, that's fine. But like I've said before, if you want to piss in your own pool, that's fine. But these people are pissing in my pool. So I'm worried about what I'm going to be put into as this underclass of society because of these people's ignorance, because of this curated information, because of the gated institutional narrative and the distributed information suppression complex. I'm worried about that because whenever we only have 20, 30% of the population as holdouts, and you have, that this super organized minority against this unorganized majority, by that point, enough people will have gone along with it that it's like they're going to be like, yeah, let's just do what we have to do if these dregs are holding us back. So I'm not like, the root of what I'm saying is really I'm worried about my future and my wife's future and my kids,
Hey,
so do you see what I'm saying?
I've got a solution for you. You can move to the free state of New Hampshire where we just banned vaccine passports and mandates.
Well, sure. No, and I live in Wyoming, and so I'm that's fine. But I'm saying that's for the time being. That's for the time being.
I mean, I honestly, I think that's the only solution for the problem right now is people have got to start manning up and either doing something to fight back or getting the F out. Like I have absolutely no fear at all that I'm going to be in a situation where I'm mandated to get a vaccine. I mean, maybe like the only thing that I'm really concerned about is like being able to fly, honestly, and as long as I can fly, I'm going to be fine. But I live in New Hampshire. Like this has already been outlawed here. The governor signed the bill like last week. And so, I mean, if people are really worried about it, well, they get thee to a libertarian state. Because again, like people have got to start taking responsibility for their own experiences here. Like you live in Wyoming, you're going to be fine. People who live in Florida, probably going to be fine. People who live in Texas, I mean, if people keep moving to California or from California to Texas, who knows what's going to happen there. But like, there are places that you can go and people have got to start we can frame this in as many different ways as we like, but at the end of the day, it's just going to come back to personal responsibility for me. Like I live in a state where this stuff is going to be outlawed. I've taken responsibility for that. I've taken personal responsibility for speaking up against these things when I think that it is important to do so and speaking up in a way that I think is going to be most conducive to actually making progress. You're doing the same thing. If everyone out there was doing the same thing that you and I were doing right now, we would actually have no problem on our hands. But until people start taking personal responsibility, like I just don't see an end to this. And this is why I keep saying like the only way we have out of this is to wake up people on the left. That's the only way out is to wake up more people on the left. And right now the right is making that goddamn near impossible. And so until they start like acting in a way that is going to be helpful for the outcome they want, I just don't know that there's a lot that we can do to help them.